guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing like a life update. So I'm just going to be telling you guys about all of the drama and all of the feels literally that have been going on in my life. And yeah, I'm also just going to be doing this like really quick and easy everyday makeup look. Honestly, because I just didn't want to sit here and just like talk because I ramble like a lot, but also because this is the direction that we headed in terms of like makeup, especially this summer. No one really wants to wear like heavy cut creases and all those things. People just want like really flawless, chewy looking skin, and this is what I have achieved, and this is what I'm going to show you how I have achieved it. So if you do like this video, please continue watching and give it a big thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. And yeah, anyway, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna prep my face. I've got like a new technique of like prepping my face. I just want to make sure that, and well, this helps me make sure that I'm still glowing even when I've set my makeup. I don't look flat, I look really like dewy and really glowy. First and foremost, I'm just gonna take this Maybelline Lasting Fix mattifying setting spray, and I'm just gonna apply it on the T-zone of my face because that's where I get oily the most. What I usually do is I take a cotton pad and I just wipe that area clean, but I don't have one inside, so I think this will just have to do. And then the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in with this NYX Away We Glow. This is actually like a liquid bronzer illuminator type of thing, and I'm gonna be mixing it with this Revlon Rose Glow just to illuminate my face and to still bring out that glow even when I've mattified or set and powdered my face. I found that a lot of times after I've set my face, I don't feel like chewy enough, I don't feel like glowy enough. So I've started doing this, and this has really helped. So I think you can just wear this alone if you want to be extra, just on your skin, because it gives you that nice like luminous type of glow, which I really like. I didn't know I liked it so much, but I really do. Okay, so in Jan, like the main thing I wanted this year was to get a car. I knew that I wanted a car in April, and I knew that in July, like 1 July 2019, I would be in my apartment. Like this is what I've been saying to my mom and everyone just around me, like, because I just wanted those two things like really bad, but I just told myself, I'm not gonna like stress about it, I'm not gonna worry about it. I mean, this is what I've said to God, and this is what I've said to everyone around me. This is what I've been saying, and it's literally just gonna happen because I don't have any other plans. I knew that in July I had to be in my own space because I didn't have a plan for July like still at home. That's just how I went forward with the whole thing. My mom was really helping me in terms of helping me like save and get my head in the right space, because I can be like a bit of a spendaholic, so I do tend to spend like a lot and stuff. But because this is what I've told my mom would always keep me in check sort of, and always be like, "Hey, bo, and things like that." So yeah, I think my face is like nice and glowy now. So yeah, anyway, I was saying it was like really hard for me because I was still living at home and I was still like helping out at home, but at the same time I still needed to be saving towards like my goals for the year, and it just really like put me off like a lot of things. But I had to like sort of completely switch off. I remember like I was in a relationship in April, and I was actually supposed to go somewhere with him and things like that, but I couldn't focus on all of those things at once. So I completely cut off like all relationships and just everything that was going on around me, because I wanted to make sure that I achieve my goals, and then afterwards then I could focus on like everything that was happening. So I had to break up with my boyfriend in April, and that same April, like April was my birthday month, so I wanted to get myself a car for my birthday. So that was like one of the main things that has happened for me this year and has changed my life literally completely. I used to spend so much money on Uber and stuff because I was literally Ubering everywhere, but I think it's just more than that. It's just like the convenience of having a car. Like I never knew how convenient, well obviously I didn't know because I didn't have a car, but I thought having a car would be convenient, but I didn't know it would be like literally life-changing. It's literally changed my whole entire life. Moving around was so much easier. I can't explain it. Like, it's just one of those things that you can't really explain. You know, when you think you need something and then you get it and you're like, holy shit, like, I didn't know I needed like this thing so much, you know. So yeah, in April I got a car. A lot of people were like, oh no, you know, don't buy, you know, buy a smaller car and things like that. And I'm just like, no, but this is the car that I want, you know. So I drive a Renault Clio and it's red. For those of you that follow me on Instagram, you will know because I do like post it on my stories a lot and things like that. And yeah, I really just love my car, and I love the freedom that it offers me, you know, being able to move around is just, honestly, I can't explain it. So yeah, anyway, and then after I got my car, it was like crazy because the next thing I needed to focus on was my move to Joburg. Okay, I'm just gonna do my foundation quickly. I'm gonna be using this Bobbi Brown Skin Long Way Weightless Foundation. I use it quite frequently, and it's in the shade Golden Almond. So I'm just gonna put it on this lid because I am gonna mix it with my Revlon full cover foundation, and it's in a darker color, which is 420. Oh yeah, so anyway, I had to think about things like, okay, now I need to plan like moving to Joburg, and I don't know, I just found that like saving was not as easy as it was like saving for my car. Everything just, I think I was just like so excited with having the car, and I was just going out like a lot, and I was just spending so much money. And I literally in April, from April till June, I was literally living my best life, you know. I was like going on dates with like a couple of people. Oh, and my friend was also like not working at the time, so it gave us an opportunity to really see each other and like really bond, because we were in the same city but we weren't really seeing each other much because she was always at work, and on the weekends like I work and stuff, so it was just really tricky. So we were seeing each other almost every day, and we were just turning up, and we were just doing like wild crazy things. We literally lived our best lives. So obviously it was a bit difficult to save, so much to a point where when I moved to Joburg, I didn't know how I was gonna do it. Like, I really didn't know how I was gonna do it because my bank account and my savings weren't looking so great. Okay, long story short, April, May, nothing much happened in May. And then in June, I got a call from Maybelline, and they wanted me to go to Nigeria to shoot like a web series, Makeup in the Cities Africa, which was really like an exciting time for me because, you know, it was my first work like international trip, actually just like my first international trip, and that was something that I had hoped would happen this year as well. So I was like really excited and stuff. But then the problem was that that was happening in the beginning of July, and that was the same time I was like meant to move to Joburg. So I remember on, I think it was like the 30th or something, but it wasn't really the first. The first was on the Monday, and I moved on the Saturday. So luckily my agent literally told me like, hey, you know, the apartment is ready, and when you're ready you can literally move in and stuff. And I was just like, oh my gosh, that makes my life so much easier because I don't have to stress about, oh my gosh, where am I gonna sleep? So I decided, like, my brother and I drove up to Joburg, obviously in my car, and he just helped me like move and stuff. And we arrived here Saturday morning, and we met up with my agent, and she gave me the keys to my apartment, and I was just like really happy. And then he went back to Durban, so I then had to like drive around and try find a bed, because obviously where am I gonna sleep? And as I got to like the bed shops, the beds were there, but then no one could like deliver to my place. So I couldn't find like anyone to deliver a bed on the Saturday. On the Sunday it was worse because the bed that I actually wanted was still in like the warehouse, and they were telling me stuff like, oh, it's gonna take like 3 to 4 working days to get it. And I'm just like, oh, you know what? So those 2 days I was making like this makeshift bed where I had like pillows. Oh, so then I decided, okay, let me just get like pillows and like a duvet inner and things like that. And then I just like put them on the floor, and I had like a blanket, and I had like an electric blanket as well. So I just put that on the floor, and then I just sleep. And I remember being so sad about that, but then my mom was just like, you know things won't be like this forever, so don't even like stress yourself. And I'm not a person that really likes bothering people, so I was never going to be like, hey, you know, can I come sleep over, you know. So I was just like, you know what, at least I'm still in like my own place, and I'm, you know, still doing my own thing and whatever. And then the Monday I woke up and I had to go to the airport because obviously I had to be in Nigeria, and I was in Nigeria that whole week. I think I still have footage from like Nigeria, so I might put in like a short little vlog just to show, just to show you guys like what I got up to and things like that. And then I obviously had to come back to Joburg and, you know, sort out like my bed stuff and sort out like my furniture stuff. I won't even lie, for the first, I think, month, I think it was only at the end of July where I actually got like my couch and like my TV and things like that. But I was literally so depressed. I always just came back and I was just like, oh my gosh, it was so quiet, it was just so lonely, and I was just like, this is not what I expected at all. I didn't expect to feel lonely, especially because at home I was like, I was staying with my younger brother, but like I was alone most of the time, so I just felt like I'll be fine. But the amount of, it just drove me so crazy. Like I was just alone most of the time, and it was just, the silence was so loud because obviously my place was empty, and it's like a biggish sort of place. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm losing my mind, So I was depressed. Like I wasn't depressed, I literally wasn't depressed. I was just really, really sad, and really, really sad, you know. So then I started like linking up with a lot of my friends, and we would just like go out all the time. And you know, that's pretty much still what I'm doing now, because I'm just like, ugh, you know, what am I gonna sit and do at home on the weekend, you know? So we just like go out all the time and things like that. I'm gonna be using this Maybelline Instant Age Erase Concealer. As you can see, it's like pretty much finished. I really love it, but it's not really like the concealer I should be using. But I really love the coverage that it provides, so I still just use it anyway. I just blend it out with the same beauty blender that I'm using. I got this from Nigeria actually, but it's not, they don't have like an online store or anything like that, so I can't really say where I got it. But this is like one of the best beauty blenders I've ever used in like my whole life. I was going through that like really weird place where I think I'm still there, you know, like it just feels so weird to have literally everything I've wanted from the beginning of the year, from years ago even, you know, and then still feel like unsatisfied. And then I was having a conversation with my friend, and she told me that like it's normal, you know, material things aren't really what fulfill us, you know. And I realized, which I didn't really know about myself, that I thrive off like human connection and stuff, because I'm very independent, and because I usually just do things on my own. I always just think I don't really need people, I've got this, I do this on my own. But it's a lie. Literally, I've been lying to myself, because I really do want people around me. And I've just been feeling like really sad because, you know, most of the time I hang out with people, I always hit them up. So then I decided to myself, like, I'm not hitting anyone up. I'm just gonna do my own thing, and I'm just gonna focus on myself. And then I'd find that like no one would hit me up, so I'll just like be sitting and be like, okay, well, you know, and then I log onto my Instagram and people are like out and about, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, you know, this is like so sad. Like, I can't believe this is like happening, you know. It's been such a roller coaster of emotions. The time where I expected to be like my happiest, I won't say it was my saddest, but I just feel like this big void and this big like emptiness like inside me. I just feel so empty. I think for me it's just because like I've been so focused on everything that's going on right now, and like trying to make sure that I achieve my goals, and you know, literally cut everything else off. Then now I'm here and I'm just like, okay, so like what's next, you know, like what do I want next for myself? Even that makes me feel like empty, because I'm just like, okay, so I've done most of the things, like, so now what do I do now, you know? Like, do I like plan on like going somewhere? Do I plan like vacays and things like that? And I'm just like, but I don't want to do all this stuff alone. Like, I don't want to be alone. And then it's just made me realize that I don't want to be alone. You know, like in movies, you always like see like young women, single, like really successful young women, but they're like so unhappy because they don't have like a man or they don't have children and things like that. And I literally felt like that because I was just like, wow, I am turning into what I feared the most. Because every time I watched those movies, I just felt like this is not what I want for my life. Like, I really, really don't want this for my life. And I just felt like I was heading in that direction. But then I had to think about it, and then I realized that, you know, I'm only 25. I'm 25 years young. And I just need to be present in the moment, you know. These are the things that have happened in the past couple of months are things that I've really like prayed about and I've really trusted God with. And I just feel like in a way I'm spitting in God's face when I get here and I'm not like happy and I'm not like grateful for like everything that's happened. So I've just started looking at like things in like a different perspective because I just think about the things that I'm really grateful for and everything that like I look around me and I'm just like, that's my TV, that's my cat, this is my house, you know, type thing. And it's really, really helped me because I'm just like, you know what, God's timing is perfect. It always has been perfect. I feel like my life is a testimony of like God's timing, and it's just so weird for me to feel like empty, you know, because literally I have everything that I've always wanted. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna set my face with some Sasha setting powder. So yeah, it's also been like really tricky for my family in terms of like them dealing with like me leaving and things like that. Like my mom's been like really, really sad. I remember this one time my brother called me and she's just like, have you spoken to your mom? And I'm like, no, not really. Why? And she's like, oh no, she's just so sad because she just feels like she hardly like knows you and you don't really like speak to her and things like that. One thing about me, I don't really like being on the phone for too long. And if there's one person like I speak to on the regular, which is probably my friend Samora, I speak to him like all the time, then I can't deal with like having 3 people I have to spend like an hour with on the phone. I literally can only do one person. So because I was speaking to Samora, I wasn't really speaking to my mom, which is really crazy because I mean obviously like my mom was my mom, but I didn't really know she was feeling like that as well. And we've just never really been like phone people because I guess I'd see her on the weekend, but it's never really been like a thing. So I didn't know she was feeling like that and things like that. So I called her and I'm like, Ma, like, are you okay? Like my brother's telling me like you feel some type of way and you feel like, you know, I've neglected you and things like that. And she's just like, yeah, no, well, like I don't even buy like minutes anymore because I just feel like every time I call you, you're like busy. And I'm just like, you know, the thing is like it actually is like really, really crazy. I am busy most of the time. If I'm not like home or whatever, I'm like at home, but I'm like, you know, busy, you know, so I can't really like speak and things like that. But like I promise to try and make an effort because I don't want you feeling like that and things like that. So I've worked on my relationship with my mom and I speak to her a lot more often on the phone, and I really find that it makes me feel good as well. All that like loneliness and like emptiness has like really subsided, and I just feel closer to my mom, and I feel really great about like our relationship and things like that. And in terms of like relationships or like that department, it's not popping. Like it literally is the shittiest thing in the world. I was involved in this like love triangle immediately when I got here, actually. This was like someone I was speaking to like in the DMs, like, you know, but obviously I was in Durban and he was in Joburg and things like that. But he was in a relationship and I knew he was in a relationship, but I still went ahead with it. Like, I don't know why. I'm like a shit person. I know. I do feel really, really shit. And to be quite honest with you, like, before actually his girlfriend found out, I really, really did want to end things with him. I actually did end things with him. And he was just like calling me like nonstop and things like that. And I wasn't really like picking up his phone. And then he called me with his friend's number. And he was just like, oh no, I want to see you and things like that. And I'm just like, dude, I don't really want to see you, you know? And I literally avoided him until the next day he called me and he was just like, he called me like multiple times. So then I answered because I was just like, okay, well, what if he's in trouble and like he needs me or something like that? I mean, I know, you know, but I mean, I'm not like a shit human. So I answered and he's just like, hey, well, I just wanted to give you the heads up. Like, my girlfriend knows about us and things like that. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is not what I need. I literally don't need this right now. So yeah, anyway, I'm just like, I really don't need this right now. Anyway, so throughout that whole day, like, we were like speaking and things like that, and he's just like, no, you know, come out with me. I'm just like chilling here all by myself. Can I come to your place and stuff like that? And I'm just like, yeah, you can, you know, because I just felt like I'd gotten him into that mess and I like shouldn't have, you know. So I was feeling quite bad and things like that. And then all of a sudden, like, umuntu just blocks me like out of nowhere. And I'm just like, okay, this is so weird. But obviously, like, you know, I was just focusing on my own stuff. And I really didn't need, like all of that drama anyway. So I was just like, okay, well, that happened, whatever, you know. But I called him. I actually did call him. And I'm just like, dude, what is going on with you, you know? And he's just like, oh no, I have to block you because apparently, like, I don't know how to act. And he's like, I might deactivate my account as well because apparently, like, I'm thirsty. And I'm just like, okay, well, I mean, if that's how you feel, then you know, like, do you and things like that. But for me, it was just like a weird thing because I think that those are when my feelings of like rejection started developing, and it wasn't also something that I could deal with because as well I was feeling like so guilty, and I just felt like I was the reason why I was like in that position in the first place. So I just felt weird about the whole thing because I had this constant sadness, but at the same time I couldn't address it because I felt like, well, what were you thinking getting into a relationship with, getting into whatever it is that you were into with someone that's in a relationship? But at the same time, I still felt weird about it because I think he didn't go about it the right way, you know? Like he owed me like an explanation. He shouldn't have just like blocked me after the previous night. He was planning on coming to my house. Like, it was just like, this is so weird, you know? So he just blocked me and he didn't really like speak to me or anything like that, which drove me crazy. And yeah, but then I realized that you know, I am human and I can feel whatever it is that I need to be feeling. So if I feel hurt and I feel rejected and I feel like abandoned, I'm going to use the word abandoned, yes, then it's okay, you know, my feelings are valid. So I did feel all of those things, and only after that was when like I actually like got over it. But then they started subbing me on Twitter, and that's just like, this is so weird. Like, okay, but anyway, so I just completely detached myself from that situation. I was just like, you know what, I'm not doing this. This is not what I'm here for. So yeah, that was a crazy story. And in terms of like my friends, I do have quite a few friends like all over the world, literally, and I do really still speak to my friends and things like that. And like my friends from Durban really, really miss me. I also really, really miss them. You know, there's some days where I just feel like I want to like go out with my friends and just like while out and things like that. But like I obviously don't have like a lot of friends in Joburg I can do that with. I have formed like a few new friends, but at the same time you don't want to jump into like friendships like quickly here in Joburg, because it's not because like I'm worried about the people, it's just like I'm worried about myself, you know. I also just don't want to be that person out there doing everything with like everyone. So yeah, I am still in my head a bit like about like people and, you know, things like that. And yeah, in terms of my finances, I think it's definitely something I still need to get used to. I mean, I am breaking out. So it's like the whole rent thing is definitely something I still need to get used to, because I obviously was not renting at home. And even though I still had like responsibilities at home, I still have those responsibilities like here. So I've got a lot on my plate in terms of that, but as well I am making like a bit more money compared to Durban, which was the reason why I moved up anyway. So that's been like really, really great. But it's a lot. It's gonna take a lot of like planning and budgeting and just like being financially savvy. Like that's honestly literally the only thing that will help me like prosper and just be good in terms of my finances. I've got like a new current obsession, which is like reality TV. So I watch like a whole lot of like Love Island. I like binge on like Love Island and things like that. And I've been contemplating for the longest time whether or not I should get DSTV. But since my friend put me on Showmax, like he created an account for me on Showmax, so I don't see the need. Like I really don't see the need. I'll figure it out. I really, really figure it out. But the one thing I feel like I'm not doing, I feel like I'm not managing my time like effectively. I mean, I feel like there's so many things that I could be doing, especially in terms of like my YouTube and things like that, but because I don't really like have the right equipment, and obviously like financially I'm not in that space to be like buying equipment right now. I mean, I'm trying to finish my house and I'm just trying to like be comfortable, things like that. So yeah, but then that's why I'm just filming with my phone, because I was just like, you know what, like if I keep like postponing it and I keep putting it off, then I'll never do it. I am going to put on some mascara. Oh, I sort of kindled my relationship with my friend. Like, literally, this guy was like my ex-best friend. And I realized I actually make like a lot of guy friends. Like, I have like really close relationships with as well. So we recently met up for lunch and everything is literally back to normal, and we speak quite often, frequently as well, and things like that. Like it's just a really good time. I think the people around me are really, really like amazing people, even the people that I go out with, because I do have like a few girls that I hit up, or they hit me up and they're like, hey girl, you know, what you doing, let's go out for like drinks or whatever. I think those are like really amazing people and stuff, and I really like them. Just gonna add some highlighter and just like so. I usually conceal the brow, but I wouldn't do that. But do you guys see how even though like I've set my face and things like that, you still have that like pop coming through, and it's because of the illuminator that I used under my makeup. 8-hour cream on my lips. I'm gonna be wearing this as lip gloss. I'm gonna go in with some normal Fix Plus, and this is in the shade Gold Light, but I won't mix it because I don't want that gold stuff. And then I'm gonna be going on with the setting spray just to keep me matte and like flawless the whole day. Mostly on my T-zone really. Okay, so this is the final look. I know it already wasn't much of a tutorial because I struggle at multitasking. I also am very new in this whole like YouTube filming thing. I'm not new, but like, you know, I feel like these things really take like a lot of practice and stuff. So I will get better at it, and yeah. I think in conclusion, God has been like really, really great to me, and I never ever like for a second ever want to doubt that, you know, regardless of how I'm feeling and, you know, whatever. And I just don't want to take for granted each and everything that's happened in my life, and how I am exactly where I've always wanted to be. You know, I'm just really, really excited for the next chapter of my life, which is 26. I don't have any plans at all. As soon as that changes, I will update you guys. I am hoping to be in some sort of like solid relationship next year. I wanted to say maybe a baby, but no, maybe 27 we can like start having babies and things like that. But I'm ready for like, you know, settling down and starting a family, because that's what has always meant like the most to me really as a child. So I'm really excited, and I am putting it out there into the universe. I want to look back like 2 years from now and say, oh my gosh, I literally said this. And yeah, I think that's where my head is at. But thank you so much for watching this video. And I'm not really like a motivational speaker or anything, but what I've realized that has really helped me is just like affirming and believing that whatever it is that I say, whatever it is that my heart desires, God will actually bring to life. So I literally had to tell myself that every day, and not because I didn't believe it, but because I wanted to make sure that every single part of my body and my mind believed it without like a doubt. So just rest assured that like God really knows your heart's desires, and also that God is attracted to faith. So if you actually give it to God and be like, hey God, you know what, actually like this is above and this is like really beyond me, take control. Literally, he will do the most amazing things. So yeah, if you take anything from this video, please at least take that, and I'll see you in my next video.